So it automatically brings up our call side, but the put side is generally not where we want it to be because it tends to be around the same strike as our call side. So what we want to do is we want to bring that down a little bit, maybe to the 133s. So all we had to do is just click on where it says put. If you have a little arrow, these little yellow arrows down here, you can click on those, and that'll bring up a box with all of the strike prices that are available for that underlying. So we just clicked on the 133, and then we want to buy, because we're selling an iron condor, we want to buy something below that strike. So we're going to buy the 131. And the call, we're selling the 142, and I like to keep them a couple points apart. So I'm buying the 144, and that's pretty much how you simply select. Now we have the iron condor sold here. We can see that we're going to get a credit of 95 cents at the midpoint. You know, depending on, now right now this is over the weekend, so the bid and ask prices are a little bit wider than they normally would during market hours. And you could probably, and during market hours, this might be like 93 cents and 95 cents instead of 83 cents. So what we want to do is we've got this set up. We can see that we'll receive a 95-cent credit for one contract. Now remember, when I showed you the setup tab, is that it automatically defaulted to create a single contract on on this entire iron condor that we're selling. Now, if we want to increase that, if we're selling, we want to click this little blue down arrow, and that will increase the quantity of our iron condor by one contract. If we continue to click it, it will increase by one more contract. One more contract, one more contract. If we want to reduce the number of contracts that we selected, all we have to do is click on this up arrow here until we get the number of contracts that we want. Just to show you, I will delete this out. Let's go back to our setup. Let's say we, instead of going with 1 as our default order quantity, we wanted to set it at 3. We can hit 3 here and keep the option order quantity increment at 1. Click OK. Go back and we'll sell our iron condor again. And you can see that now we have 3 contracts have come up as our default order quantity. And then if you want to decrease it or increase it, you can just click the blue links, and it'll go up by one contract, because that is our order increment quantity. Okay, so let's set this back up again, and I will show you how. This is how I normally begin the trade, is by selecting the strike prices that I like to work with, either on a double calendar or with a iron condor. And I'm going to go into, let's see, what's I think I picked the 133 and the 131. There we go, for a 95-cent credit. Now you can go to this little blue dot here, and when it's highlighted yellow, just right click on that and go to Analyze Duplicate Trade. But you can also just about click anywhere in this. I have trouble sometimes exactly getting on that little blue dot. So you can go anywhere inside of the blank area here and do the same thing. Right click, then left click on Analyze Duplicate Trade, and that will bring up your Analyze tab. The Trade tab and the Analyze tab are the two most important tabs, or the tabs that I actually use more often than any other tab. I'll show you some of the other tabs here. Of course, your account is very important to keep an eye on your current positions, but also your monitor tab, so that you can monitor the Greeks of your trade and your portfolio. But when you're setting up trades and you're going through, you're kind of trying to get an idea of your positions, The trade and the analyze tab are probably the two most important and the ones I use most frequently. Now, when you're analyzing a trade for the very first time, what it'll do is we went to the trade tab, we right-clicked, we came over to the analyze tab automatically, and it brings up this risk profile graph. And the risk profile graph gives you an idea as it's open of the probability of the profit and loss at the current time. So based on its current price. It doesn't really give us that much information. What I like to do is find out what this is going to look like at expiration and what it looks like right now. In comparison to expiration. So I will immediately go to plot lines. I'll bring this down to expiration, and I will go expiration +1, which means that it will take a look at what happens to this graph, what happens to my position the day just immediately following expiration. And as soon as I click on that, this little graph will come up. And what this does really is show you the current price. It's kind of hard to see, but when you first pull this up, this little gray bar right here in the center is your current position, and it gives you the price down here, 138.48. You can move your cursor back and forth, and down here it'll show you what your current profit position is based on date. Today is 4/19/08, and the profit potential of the position, which is your green line, at the expiration date, which is May 17th, 2008. So if we wanted to, all we have to do is run our cursor along these lines, these strike prices. Our strike prices are down here. Our current, actually, the prices of the underlying are underneath on the horizontal axis, and our profit and loss is here on the vertical axis. So you can see that as long as the price stays within 132, maybe 10 cents, all the way up to around 143, then we will have a somewhat profitable position. Our most profitable position will be if the underlying remains within around 142 to about 143. Now, you can also see that corresponds, the 133 on the low end, which is our maximum position before our profit starts to decrease, is the position of our short put position at the 133 strike. Also, the 142 strike, which is our maximum position, profit position to the upside, corresponds to the short position that we have at the 142 strike price on the call side. Okay, so there's some logic to this. Now, what will happen is our current profit and loss is this white line here. Now, like I said, the 95 cents was the midpoint price. Generally, you're not going to get that. You're probably going to get something close to that, but maybe a few cents off. Maybe you get 92 cents or maybe even 91 cents. So it does change the profit and loss a little bit. You can see this white line here is our current profit and loss, and you can see that as soon as we open up this position, if we were opened up to this position right now at 91 cents, we would be in a position of losing $5.81 immediately. And why does that happen? Well, it happens because of the spread